In the world of online gaming, community passion is a massive force. But sometimes that passion can boil over into some pretty intense debates. And that's exactly what went down in the Crypto Royale community. This is the story of how that conflict actually forged a brand new economic blueprint for the entire game. So let's break it down.
And this is where it all starts. Look, this quote, it isn't just some random comment. It's a sign of a much deeper tension that was just bubbling up with the players. It's raw, it's direct, and it points to a real frustration about where the game was headed. This is the kind of pressure that ended up creating the very ideas we're about to dive into.
So, to really get where this whole proposal comes from, we got to start with the problem it's trying to solve. A community that was seriously at odds with itself, arguing over the very soul of the game.
The frustration was coming from all over the place. You see accusations of zero effort, people saying the arguments were just surface level. There was even this feeling of exclusion, that maybe only the top-tier players were actually being listened to. And that last bit from Maroon Balloon, it just perfectly nails the technical side of the debate. This feeling that the current systems are completely overloaded, kind of like trying to cram 6 gigs of files onto a 3 gig hard drive. It just wasn't working.
But here is the really cool part. Instead of the community just breaking apart, all this friction, all this passion, it actually sparked a creative explosion. 2 really powerful, connected ideas started to form that could totally redefine the economic foundation of Crypto Royale. All of that tension led to a brand new philosophy, a huge shift away from the old way of doing things in crypto gaming. It's a move from just earning stuff to actually truly owning it. Okay, so the old model, play to earn, was all about pulling value out of the game. You play, you get some tokens, and your items are basically just tools to earn more. But this new play to own idea, it's a complete paradigm shift. The whole focus is on creating real assets that you, the player, actually own. The value is built and sustained by the players themselves. It means your in-game items are way more than just pixels. They become long-term, valuable collectibles. So how do you actually make that happen? Well, the first big piece of the plan is to take one of the most beloved things in the game, the cosmetic skins, and turn them into real, actual assets. The answer is NFT skins. The idea is that players can take their best, high-tier skins and choose to mint them by paying a fee in ROI, the game's currency. Now, this sounds simple, but the implications are huge. It turns a regular in-game item into a unique, verifiable digital asset on the blockchain that you and only you own. And we're not just talking about a picture file here. Each NFT skin carries its own unique story. It's like its digital DNA. Think about it. The metadata can track its rarity, which skin war it came from, the total number of matches it's been in, even a full history of every single player who's ever owned it. That's what makes every single skin provably unique. It tells a story. And this right here, this is the real game changer. Your hard-earned asset is no longer trapped on Crypto Royale's servers. Because it's an NFT, you can take it to an outside marketplace like OpenSea and trade it or sell it for real-world value. All that time and skill you put into the game suddenly becomes a real, tangible asset that you are in complete control of. Okay, so now players have these valuable digital assets, but what if they need some quick cash and they really don't want to sell? Well, that brings us to the second huge idea, basically a crypto pawn shop for your game assets. Just let that sink in for a moment. What if that collection of items you've built up wasn't just sitting there looking cool, but could actually be put to work for you, generating cash whenever you needed it? Let's look at the actual numbers from the proposal. Say you own a skin that's worth about 4,000 ROI. With this system, you could use that skin as collateral to get an instant loan of 1,200 ROI. And the best part? You never have to sell your skin. And the process itself is designed to be super simple and secure, all run by a smart contract. First, you lock up your NFT skin. Then, boom, the royal loan is sent instantly to your wallet. Now, of course, you can't use the skin while it's locked. But once you're ready, you just repay the loan plus a tiny fee, and the smart contract automatically unlocks your skin and sends it right back to you. It's clean, it's fast, and there's no middleman. This system just gives players incredible flexibility. You get the cash you need without being forced to sell an asset that you love, or one that you think is going to be worth more later. It pumps liquidity into the economy without flooding the market with a bunch of items for sale. So we've got NFT skins for true ownership, and we've got a crypto pawn shop for liquidity. When you put those two ideas together, what you get is the blueprint for a whole new, player-driven economy. The combined impact here is huge. The ROI token suddenly has real utility. It's not just a payout.
Scarcity starts to drive up demand for skins, which encourages players to really invest in their collections. And with that real external market value, all these pieces come together to create the Holy Grail, a sustainable economy built and owned by the players themselves.
And it all comes back to this one core mission. Every single piece of this proposal, the NFTs, the metadata, the loan system, it's all designed for one powerful goal: to shift the game from a world where you play to earn to one where you play to own.
So this blueprint, born from the Crypto Royale community's debates, could absolutely change their game. But it also makes you ask a much bigger question for the entire industry, right? Is this where we're all headed? A future where players aren't just customers, but are true owners in the worlds they help create? Now that's something to think about.